Cooped up like a prisoner inside Tweedy's farm, a chicken named Ginger dreams of the impossible. Wide open spaces, grass beneath her feet, and a chance to do more than meet the daily egg quota. Join Ginger and her fellow hens in their quest for freedom.
Order! Now, I know our last escape attempt was a bit of a fiasco, but Mac and I have come up with a brand new plan.
As night falls, Ginger makes her latest daring escape attempt. She dashes across the barnyard to the barbed wire fence, whips out a spoon, and starts digging. When the hole is big enough, she crawls under the fence. At her signal, 5 other hens rush out from the shadows. Bunty, the biggest bird of them all, climbs into the hole. The hens are almost home free, but Bunty gets stuck.
Stuck! Get back!
As the hens push and pull at Bunty, Mr. Tweedy catches Ginger outside the fence. Before she can get away, he scoops her up and dumps her into the coal bin for a night of solitary confinement. Ginger is released just in time for morning roll call. Mr. Tweedy boots her into the chicken yard, where she's greeted by silly Babs.
Morning, Ginger. Back from holiday?
I wasn't on holiday, Babs. I was in solitary confinement.
Oh, it's nice to get a bit of time to yourself, isn't it?
Fowler, the farm's resident rooster, calls the chickens to attention. As soon as they are assembled, Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy begin the daily egg count. But one hen, Edwina, hasn't laid any for 3 days straight. Ginger and the other hens look on helplessly as Edwina is taken away by Mr. Tweedy.
Oh, is Edwina off on holiday?
Now, Ginger is more determined than ever to escape. That night, she calls a secret meeting of the escape committee to discuss new plans. At the escape committee meeting, Ginger and Mac, chief engineer and Ginger's right-hand hen, demonstrate the latest plan with the help of a turnip. They'll build a catapult and go over the fence.
We tried going under the wire and that didn't work. So the plan is we go over it. This is us, right? We get in like this, wind her up, and let her go.
The room fills with nervous clucking as the turnip smashes against the wall.
Good grief! The turnip's bolted!
This is the craziest plan yet. Maybe they should just accept their lot in life.
Oh, face the facts, ducks. The chances of us getting out of here are 1,000,000 to 1.
Then there's still a chance.
Ginger tries to rally them, but she fears she'll never be able to lead her fine feathered friends to freedom. What she needs now is a miracle. Discouraged, Ginger leaves the hut. Suddenly, she hears a shout. She looks up to see a rooster flying through the air. He crash lands in the barnyard. And a piece of a poster advertising Rocky the Flying Rooster floats down after him. Ginger's heart soars as she gazes at the poster. She hatched a new plan. The hens rush Rocky inside and bandage his sprained wing as Ginger explains her idea.
This is our way out of here.
We'll make posters.
What's on the poster, Babs? What's on the poster? We'll fly out.
Rocky will teach them to fly. But Rocky's plans don't include sticking around a chicken farm.
But see, I'm a traveler by nature. I did that whole barnyard thing for a while, but I couldn't really get into it. Hi, how are you? Nope. The open road, that's more my style. Yeah, just give me a pack on my back and point me where the wind blows.
Rocky is about to leave when a circus van pulls up. He's on the run from the circus.
I should turn you in right now.
You wouldn't, would you?
Give me one reason why I shouldn't.
Because I'm cute?
Hey, what kind of crazy chick are you? Do you know what'll happen if he finds me?
It's a cruel world.
I just decided I don't like you.
I just decided I don't care.
Ginger starts to have a sinking feeling about Rocky.
I thought you were going to teach us how to fly.
That's what I'm doing.
Isn't there usually some flapping involved?
Hey, do I tell you how to lay eggs? Relax. We're making progress.
Nick and Fetcher, the farmyard rats, laugh at their failed attempts.
Birds of a feather flock together.
Meanwhile, strange things are happening on the farm. A truck delivers a huge crate.
What's all this then?
This is our future, Mr. Tweedy. No more wasting time with petty egg collection and minuscule profits.
No more eggs. But we've always been egg farmers. My father and his father and all their fathers. There was always...
Poor, worthless, nothings. But all that's about to change.
Mrs. Tweedy starts measuring the chickens instead of counting eggs. Then the food rations are doubled, sending the hens into an eating frenzy. Finally, Ginger gets the picture. Mrs. Tweedy is fattening them up. Rocky comes up with a plan of his own. He decides that the chickens need a little fun to cheer them up. By promising Nick and Fetcher the next egg he lays, Rocky cons the two sneaky rats into stealing a radio. But Nick and Fetcher will be waiting a long time for their payback. Roosters don't lay eggs. Soon, the hens are tapping their toes and moving to the music.
Oh, look at this. What's happening?
That's called a beat, sister. Feel it pulsing through your body?
Oh, yes. Pulsing. Fancy that.
Hey, why go with it, baby?
Oh, my. Look, I'm going with it.
Even Ginger takes a turn with Rocky on the dance floor. With all the flapping and twirling, Babs suddenly goes airborne. Her flight only lasts a moment, but it renews the chicken's hope. During all the commotion, Ginger notices that Rocky's wing is better. Now, Rocky can demonstrate his flying technique.
Fantastic! You can fly for us tomorrow.
Yeah. So it seems.
Looks like I owe you an apology. I didn't think you cared about us. But after all this, well, it seems I was wrong.
Rocky is about to tell Ginger the truth about his flying skills, when suddenly a deafening rumble is heard from the barn. Mr. and Mrs. Tweedy have just turned on their new money-making investment, a pie machine for chicken pies.
Oh, that's champion, that is. What is it?
It's a pie machine, you idiot. Chickens go in, pies come out.
Soon, every store in the county will be stocked with Mrs. Tweedy's homemade chicken pies. But first, the machine must be tested.
How does it work?
Get me a chicken and I'll show you.
I know just the one.
Before she can shake a feather, Ginger is snapped up, strapped onto a conveyor belt, and headed straight into the belly of the beast. Fearlessly, Rocky charges into the pie machine after her. Dodging mixed vegetables and rotating saw blades, he finds Ginger, and they make their escape, but not before sabotaging the machine. Back in the hut, Ginger tells the hens about the terrible pie-making machine. The chickens start to panic.
Chicken pies?
Yes, but
I don't want to be a pie. I don't like gravy.
ladies, please, let's not lose our heads.
Lose our hair?
But Ginger calms them down with the news that Rocky will show them how to fly tomorrow. Soon, they'll be free. Later, Ginger thanks Rocky for saving her life. Rocky tries once again to tell her his secret, but he just can't get the words out. The hens can't wait to see Rocky fly.
Well, today's the day, girls. We're going to fly. I can feel it.
Finally, we get to see a real professional in action.
Better start warming up. I'll go and get him.
But when Ginger goes to find Rocky the next morning, his bunk is empty. All that's left is the bottom half of Rocky's poster. It shows him being fired out of a circus cannon. Ginger realizes the truth. Rocky couldn't fly after all. Her hopes dashed, she breaks the bad news to the hens.
Let's face it. The only way out of here is wrapped in pastry.
Without Ginger's dreams to guide them, the hens begin to squabble, and the squabble turns into an all-out mud fight. As Fowler steps in to break it up, Ginger realizes something. Fowler was in the RAF, the Royal Air Force.
Papa Squadron work together, just like we did in my RAF days. Jocko at the stick, Flappy at the map, and old Whiz-Bang at the tail end Charlie. Winker give the call, hop in, the old crate chucks away. Wizard shirt, boss. That's how you get medals.
Filled with inspiration, Ginger devises a new plan. They'll build an airplane, just like the one Fowler flew. With no time to lose, the hens get organized. Everyone lends a hand.
Mac, you'll handle the engineering. Babs, manufacturing. Fowler will be chief aviation advisor. Bunty, eggs.
Eggs?
Eggs.
Right. Just like the ones that rooster was gonna lay. Only roosters don't lay eggs, do they? Don't they? No, it's a layman thing, apparently. Lost me one.
In exchange for eggs from Bunty, Nick and Fetcher help the chickens steal tools right out from under Mr. Tweedy's nose. Seeing the hens so energized fills Ginger with pride. But it also makes her realize something. She misses Rocky. Meanwhile, out on his own, Rocky is realizing something too. Freedom can be a lonely road to follow. Spotting a huge billboard advertising Mrs. Tweedy's chicken pies, Rocky begins to question his decision to leave Ginger and the other hens in their time of need. Back in the barnyard, the chickens freeze in fear as the repaired pie machine roars to life again. When Mr. Tweedy comes to get them, Ginger and the hens swoop down and overpower him. They truss him up like a stuffed bird and wheel the flying machine out onto a runway lit by a string of Christmas lights. The time has come to make their escape. But there's just one problem. Fowler has never flown a plane before.
644 Squadron, Poultry Division. We were the mascots.
You mean you never actually flew the plane?
Good heavens, no. I'm a chicken. Royal Air Force doesn't let chickens behind the controls of a complex aircraft.
He was a mascot in the RAF, not a pilot. Ginger convinces him to take the controls. As the plane approaches the takeoff ramp, Mr. Tweedy jumps up and kicks it over. Then Mrs. Tweedy appears and looms over Ginger with an axe. But before she can swing, a loud noise distracts her. It's Rocky, riding a tricycle. He speeds downhill, sails over the fence, and knocks Mrs. Tweedy to the ground. Rocky and Ginger quickly put the ramp in place, and the plane takes off, trailing the Christmas lights behind it. Rocky and Ginger grab hold of the lights and climb aboard. Happy to have him back, she leans over and gives him a kiss. As she does, the plane jolts. Mrs. Tweedy has grabbed hold of the lights. Ginger leans out to cut the string of lights. And before she knows it, she and Mrs. Tweedy are dangling behind the plane. As Ginger tries to cut Mrs. Tweedy off, she's hit in the face with something. It's an egg.
Fire! Fire!
Rocky is attacking Mrs. Tweedy with the help of Nick and Fetcher. But they don't have enough eggs. Mrs. Tweedy swings the axe at Ginger. Just in time, Ginger ducks. The axe slices through the string of lights, sending Mrs. Tweedy tumbling down, through the roof of the barn, and into the pie machine. The plane soars up and away from the barn. Meanwhile, Mrs. Tweedy tries to escape from the pie machine. But before Mr. Tweedy can free her, the machine explodes. Mrs. Tweedy is swept up in a flood of gravy, unharmed, yet unhappy.
I told you they was organized.
Her pie machine is ruined. Her dreams have been dashed. And her chickens are gone. And yes, Rocky, Ginger, and the others finally make it to freedom, proving once and for all that a little luck and a lot of pluck go a long way.